trouble with Facebook?
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, good Thursday morning to you. Welcome back to PT Breakfast Club. That's Dave Kittle. On the phone is Tony Maritato. I'm Jimmy McKay. This show is the only live show where three physical therapists walk into a live stream and leave with more hot takes than a dry needling seminar in Phoenix in July. That's our opening for today. Dave, how are you doing, man?
I am feeling great. All is well. How are you guys?
You're running still outdoors.
Sometimes I go yogging, soft J yogging.
I have a like a 40-degree rule. Below 40 degrees, I yog indoors. Call me a wuss.
See, when you that means you're probably you're not a Rocky fan. Are you a fan of the Rocky I was gonna say trilogy, the saga?
Everybody's a fan, but I also don't like to get punched in the face. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm cool with it.
I like running.
I love running. I love running outside when it's snowy, when it's icy, because nobody else is out there. I hate running when my neighbors are out.
Really? All right. Well, I mean, I could see that.
Tony's got a little bit of that competitive nature that I have, which is like, if it's 30, 35 degrees outside and you're out there running, it's like, yeah, like I'm out here and you're not.
Yeah. I do that, but on a Peloton tread. But I got no problem running at noon in July in South Carolina, like make it hot. Like, see, I think you can complain about one temperature extreme, and I complain about cold, but I like hot. That's my thing. That's just me. We're going to start it off with the sponsor. Is that okay if we start it off with the sponsor? We got to pay the bills, guys.
Let's do it.
Dave's already like, what is this? Do you want to thank our new sponsor, brand new, just came on. They called me yesterday. Thank you to TheraFluff. TheraFluff is your emotional support foam roller. The first foam roller that whispers encouragement while you cry through your IT band. It doesn't fix your pain, but it validates your trauma. Use code BREAKFAST for a free side of tissues. TheraFluff. How great is that image right there, Dave? I don't know if Tony can see it. That's a good image.
It's a really good image. Is this from ChatGPT or Gemini or what?
Yeah, it's from ChatGPT.
I mean, it even has a shadow behind the physical product. Yeah. Like, I mean, It looks like it was a real photo shoot.
Yeah. We'll be giving these away. This will be our big Christmas and Hanukkah giveaway, which is TheraFluff, trademark patent pending.
Is nobody going to reference fluffer? Wasn't being a fluffer or like, isn't that a
I don't know what you're talking about, Tony. Keep going. Explain what this is.
Is that a boomer term?
I'm unaware of what that is. What is this? What is this in reference to?
I'm not going to go down that road, but I'm sure there are some older guys on this stream that know what I'm talking about.
Why does it have to be just guys? Why is it gender specific? Why couldn't it be females? Why are we doing that? I do want to. This is also true. We've done this before, but I wanted to bring this back again. If you have something to say and you're listening to the live stream right now, I'll put the phone number on the screen if you want. You can call in. I set my mixing board back up so we can go live with a phone call. I want to start off with a topic today. We didn't really coordinate this morning because I've got a little bit of an issue with Facebook Messenger, but I think I tagged you guys in this. Did you see this? This was on LinkedIn. I do not know this person. This is Matthew Fain. He posted yesterday. He goes, here it goes. Bought an outpatient physical therapy practice back in May 2025. He's been working at it for more than 10 years. Love it. From that time till now, I've been immersed in PT coaching, PT podcasts, business books, and pretty much anything and everything about running a PT business in this era. And the change starts tomorrow. Tomorrow being today. That was yesterday. So today is the change. So I reached out because he tagged me in it. And then I think I tagged you guys in it because he says he listens to the show.
Shout out.
I'd love to do a special live stream with him. And what I'd love to do, and I wanted to kick this idea to you guys. This is my initial idea. I'd love to interview Matthew today, ask him like 10 questions, then call him at month 3, 6, 9, 12, and same questions. And we of course want to see similarities and differences. What do you think is going through Matthew's brain right now? Day one. I mean, you've been there for 10 years, but it's different. Everything's got to be different now, is my assumption.
Well, so he bought the clinic in May of this year, May of 2025.
But today's when he takes over.
Oh, okay. That's what I was going to ask for clarity. Okay.
Yeah, that's my assumption. Again, I haven't talked to him, but that's how I read it. Anyway, he bought it in May, and now is like the official transition. But he's been there for a decade. But everything's different now, right? Because now anything breaks, you don't just go, "Hey, boss, so toilet's backed up." You got to handle it.
Now you're the chief bottle washer.
Chief bottle washer. Yeah, you're right. Tony, you went from scratch, right? You just started your own thing from zero.
I did. I've always just kind of started from scratch, but I will say, and Dave knows this, Justin Stiver bought one of my physical therapy clinics down in Sarasota, Florida. He had been working for me when he was an aide, a tech, then he became a DPT. He continued to work for me. Then he bought that clinic location.
Cool.
Every time I hear somebody buys a clinic, I get a little twinge of pain because I know how challenging that is, because you're trying to turn something around in most cases, like trying to turn the Titanic around before it hits the iceberg.
Right.
I hope it works well. I mean, Justin blew up my business. He did amazing. He took my business, what used to be my business, to levels I would have never dreamed possible. So you can see this go well. I've also seen it go badly.
Yeah. So this is why I sort of wanted to bring it up. Both of you guys run practices. If you're looking at this guy and you're like, "Hey, man, if I knew then what I know now, knowing this, what his situation is," and we don't know anything, I think, besides outpatient physical therapy. That could mean a lot of things. Is there any generically non-generic advice you would give for Matthew as he's day zero, even though he's 10 years in? He's day zero. Any advice you'd give?
Dave?
Well, 10 years in, meaning he's 10 years in as a licensed physical therapist?
He's worked at that practice for 10 years, but now he's the boss.
Got it. I mean, just as a side, like so if the transaction closed in May of 2025, I don't understand why today or tomorrow is now the start of him taking over. I just maybe get some clarity around that. I'm not sure. Maybe it was like some earn-in thing. I don't know. I don't know how it was structured. Maybe that's part of it. Yeah, and it sounds like he's doing all the right things in terms of getting help, getting business coaching, listening to podcasts like this, all that. I hope it wasn't phrased as like now he's starting to go into that stuff, because hopefully it sounds he's been doing all that stuff.
Yeah, this was a snapshot. It was a very much longer post on
LinkedIn. From that time till now. Okay, so from May, or maybe recently or before May, he's been focusing on all this type of stuff.
Yep.
I mean, if I were him, I don't know what the staff and the space and all that looks like. I would be completely focused on getting out of patient care and hiring other team members. That's usually not the case, and it's usually like the big ego and power trip of physical therapists, as mostly common across healthcare and many other businesses. So I think Tony would probably bring up, and if he wasn't going to, then I will, which is like, are you buying a job or are you buying a business? That's going to depend on like what type of team is there and what's his intentions. And for me, I've said to you guys before, I was like basically out of patient care. I have like 2 clients that I'm treating right now, and I'm like literally telling people no. So yeah, is he buying a business or is he buying a job? Is he going to be working and treating patients for 30, 40 hours a week, plus all the admin stuff and cleaning and marketing and everything? Or is he focused on buying an asset and growing the asset and growing a team? So those are the types of things. If he were here, that's what I would ask him.
What Dave is saying sounds very simple, and it's not, and it can change the gigantic trajectory of what every day is like, and what a year is like, and what the rest of your business ownership is like.
I think similar to the comment you shared.
Yeah, this is Colleen. I'll read it real quick, and then Dave, then Tony can chime in. Colleen says it sounds like he's changing the business model. That was further down his post.
Yeah.
By closing the clinic to train his employees on evolving new types of business, he closed for a day to train on cash and wellness. So he's flipping the script here. Sounds like.
Love it. I think that's what needs to happen. Like you're buying the bare bones. You're buying the 1957, Chevy that you're going to restore and rebuild. It's going to cost you way more to do that, most likely, than it would have to just start from scratch. but he's been there. He's been there 10 years. He's seen all the warts. He's looked behind the curtain. He understands all the problems.
Right.
Now, and you know, I am retiring my 0 to paid course this month. This month is the last month.
Didn't know that.
The rest of my life, zero
Oh,
paid
no.
is going to be taught the way it's been taught.
Why?
And
Yeah, why? What? This is.
we'll get into it another time when I have a better connection. But I tell the people that are in that course, I'm like, guys, you can't run a business that was successful in 1982 in 2025 going into 2026. We need a new business model. It needs to be different. We have to approach this in a new way. And that's what it sounds like he's doing. It's exciting.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I wanted to mention one. Oh yeah. So thoughts on
I was going to say I have a segue for that, but go ahead. Now
so I reached out to this guy. I want to talk to him.
And Tony's got it. Tony's got his McDonald's.
Tony's got a breakfast. It's a breakfast club. I would love to interview him at day 0, month 3, 6, 9, 12. Same 10 questions and see if the answers changed. What was your segue? Let's segue out, Dave. Good luck, Matthew.
Yes, good luck, Matthew. So one of the things I sent to you guys that I was seeing recently, and we've talked about the third place before. Starbucks has kind of been the U.S. third place. You have the first place as your home, your apartment, wherever you live, sleep, all that. Second place is typically your job, wherever you're employed. That's your second place. And third place for decades has been Starbucks. Now, of course, for some people, maybe it's Dunkin' Donuts or whatever the alternative is. And some people that don't drink coffee, maybe the library or the YMCA or the whatever it is.
Yeah.
Am I lagging?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, you're lagging on for me. I'll just interject. The original third place was the bar, like the pub, the public house. But keep going. I agree.
So now the trend in health and wellness is
This is the best part of it.
Honestly, if you want people to listen to your live stream longer, get to the good part and then freeze. Dave's having some connections, right? Like you can hear him lagging a little bit. Yeah, okay. Dave will reset. It's funny, and you saw my face change there for a second. I was working on third place ideas. I was trying to think like Tony Maritato and Dave Kittle. I was playing with this idea last night, and that's the segment I have prepared. So Dave looks like he's resetting, but Tony was about to say something. What do you got?
I think where he was going, and you guys are saying third place. I'm going to say third space. I think that's the way it's said. Third space.
Third space. Yeah.
He's right. I think you're going to go in the same direction. Our physical therapy clinics can be that third space.
Yes.
When people come to my clinic, they're not coming for the exercise. They're coming for me to listen to them, to hear them, to be heard, to interact and socialize and engage and not be judged and all of those things. This is their community. I have the space.
Yes. All right, Dave, you got cut off, but smartly you got cut off right at the good part. So everybody's like, cliffhanger. So you got cut off right when you were saying, essentially setting up like traditionally the third space, first place being home, second being work, third being Starbucks sort of invented it. Am I saying it right? Is it place or space? Place, right? Place. Space. Who cares? It's not third base. Dave gets cut off again. While Dave is reloading the live stream, this is how we pivot on live radio. I do want to say thank you to another sponsor, which has just come on board. Thank you to the HIPAA compliant gossip chair. Today's episode sponsored by the HIPAA compliant gossip chair. Finally, a waiting room seat with a built-in soundproof cone of silence. Patients can still overhear, but legally, you're in the clear. The HIPAA-compliant gossip chair at HIPAA-compliantgossipchair.com. It's going to be a big one. I could see some affiliate codes for Tony there.
So ChatGPT is doing the images.
Yeah.
Is it also coming up with like the saying and everything?
Yes, all of it. So here's the show prep. I go on and I go, so I have a GPT called Max Headroom. And he knows that what PT Breakfast Club is. That's all the GPT does. I got an image on him. And then I say, hey, live show today. Need some live sponsors. I think the co-hosts loved the live sponsors last time. Let's do something We've already done, hydroculator, cologne, and whatever. What's another thing that we could do? And then it does the tags. I ask it to give me 10. I usually weed out 7 of them, which is fine. That's a 300, as Dave knows. Dave puts you in the Hall of Fame. So that's where I get the live tags. And then I just say, give me generate images for 1, 4, and 7. Go. Not rocket. All right, Dave, we got a good connection now.
We did.
And he's out. Let's go back to our sponsor, TheraFluff. All right, we can hear you, Dave.
Maybe.
Dave, there's a number on the screen. I mean, he could legitimately just call and I could pipe him through the phone. It sounds great audio, but it's better than nothing. All right, so I'll segue and then Dave can bring it home. Dave, if you come back on, I'll bring it back on the screen. And he's gone. Okay, so I had a little segment going on for a while called Steal the Strategy, and I prepped it for this. So I was doing just this last night, and we didn't even know this. So I wanted to think, how do you get people in your PT clinic not for PT? I literally had that prompt, and I had a roundabout discussion, and then it was sort of leading me, the discussion was sort of leading me, well, who are you designing this for? Because it could be 15 different things. Is it for an active 34-year-old? It's Pilates. But female, it's Pilates. I don't know why female only, but or is it this, or is it that? And I decided, what do parents, I'm tipping my hand, spend a lot of money on? Tony, what do you spend a lot of money on? The children.
Kids sports.
So, bingo. So I said, how would you do this? And I had pitched this idea before, but now I want to pitch it with clarity. And I want to hear if someone's already doing this, because I don't think I've came up with this idea. And I think you know what idea I'm going with is. I still think the idea of gamification, of turning your clinic into the local NFL combine for whatever sport your kid plays. So here's my pitch. If you have 4 high schools in your, 20, 30-mile radius, and they each have how many sports teams? 8, right? 5 per season, 10, I don't know. Here's the idea. Strategy you could absolutely steal. Don't ask permission. Just take it. Athletes love being ranked. We love it. We're humans. We're big, dumb animals, right? They love being measured. We love seeing their name on a leaderboard. So here's what you do to take advantage of this in a great way. You take every high school in a 20-mile radius, and you reach out. Their basketball team, volleyball team, tennis team, swimmers. I don't care. You should already have a relationship, hopefully, with their athletic trainer, right? Have a relationship. That's dozens of teams right there. And you say, hey, listen, I got a thing for you and your coaches. You let me know. It's a free combine. I'm going to design it for each one of your sports. If it's the wrestling team, one of the events in the combine is probably not going to be like a vertical leap. I'm not a wrestling expert, but I don't think they have to jump, right? Call me out on it. Power. All right, whatever. But I want a thing that are sports specific. But maybe that's the answer. Maybe you have the coaches design it. What are the 10 most important things you see your athletes be able to do that they can't do right now? Or why'd you finish in 3rd place? You create something, this combine that's free, measured, ranked. This is certified ego rocket fuel. You don't need to explain to athletes why doing better and being ranked is important. This is in their brains, right? You run them. Now you set up your stations. Your team is coming on Thursday at 5:00. It's 2 hours. You got cool jams that the kids listening to on the Spotify, right? You got some snacks. You got Gatorade, whatever. You run them through stations. The 6 tests designed for their sport. Now it feels personalized for the sport, and the coach is he's still in charge, right? You're Yoda. The athletes are the hero, right? You invited them. Now you rank them and you capture the data. And I think that you're looking for things now, once you run the same sport, the same team, all the swim teams in the area through, you can do top scores by team, top scores by athlete, top scores by school. Oh, now it's an inside the school thing. The girls volleyball team kicked the boys wrestling team's ass. Sorry, boys. Maybe next year. How about most improved? Now that's over time. We'll get to that. How about now? Of course, Tony says, Jimmy, why aren't you recording all these things? Of course you are. You bring in your media team and you're recording the crap out of this. Because what do you love more than being shown how awesome, how long your kid can jump on the standing broad jump? So you have the freak of the week highlight reel. Look at this kid. He's 14. He jumps 37 feet. That's probably a lot, but anything that makes teenagers go, yo, I can beat that. Step right up. Come on over. We have open gym on Friday nights, right? Kids are drinking less. That's awesome. Where should they go? Your PT clinic. Now, of course, once you have the baseline score, they've got to come back because I'm 15th and I can do better. But now you give the plan to the coach, or even better, you say, listen, there's a chance my kid goes, D1. He needs an edge. And I go, it ain't supplements, my man. You know what it is? Heavy stuff. Here, you come on in, and now you open doors. I've got the combine to D1 package. And that's what you do. That's your expertise. I'm just giving you a little razzle dazzle. Humans are wired for this. Peloton knows this. CrossFit knows this. Apple knows this. Orange Theory knows this. Garmin knows more about you than your prom date ever did. Numbers create obsession, and now you own the scoreboard. Put it on your damn website. Don't put the kids' names up there. Just give them numbers, right? De-identify it, but you know who that is. Which one are you? Like when the teacher in college used to put the grades up by your student number, and you're like, B minus. Oh man. So you just created, just to recap, recurring revenue, built-in marketing, constant content, and an army of athletes walking around saying, yeah, I go to the Resolve Physical Therapy clinic. They run the combine. They run the Orange County, New York athletic have you been to the combine yet? Have you combined? Right? Make it a verb. I want you to hopefully steal the strategy. All right. Is it a good idea, bad idea? Where'd Dave go? Dave just blacked out on us again. All right, whatever.
All right. I was gonna see what Dave had to say because I think there's more in his world, but really? I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna one up it.
Oh, I love being one-upped.
You're not in this world yet, so you don't necessarily know this stuff, but like Game Changer is an app that everybody uses across multiple sports. When my kids are playing 7th grade football, there's Huddle, there's Game Changer.
No Huddle.
They have video that tracks all of the games, and you put in stats. So like when my older kids are playing baseball, you can pull up the stats and you can see what their ERA is, if they're pitching, what their batting average is, all of this kind of stuff. You can see like a spray chart of where the ball was hit on these different things. My vision has always been, I've been in that world just enough. I did clinical rotations at IMG Academy. I've been around sport. There's no money left in sport. And the kids that are good, they're so overscheduled. They're so overbooked. It's so hard to get them out of wherever they are. I would take a step back and I would say, yeah, I love the idea. I think the idea is amazing, but I think those kids are already, their schedule's too full. What if we go to the kid, and I call them gap kids that are in the gap. They're not on the spectrum per se. They don't have an IEP per se, but they don't have the coordination. They don't have the movement patterns. They're not playing organized sports, but they're just normal kids. I was that kid. I didn't play any sports in high school. I was more in art and music and theater, so I think those are the kids that need something like this.
Love it.
And they're not overscheduled. One of my boys is in theater and music. You look around, those kids aren't getting like this kind of thing. Let's make a combine for the normal kid, not the athletic kid, not the successful kid. I think there's huge money in that. And I think you can really have an impact. Last thing, and then I want to hear what Dave says. I originally thought I was going to go sport route, sport physical therapy, do all that stuff. I got there, I hated it. Professional athletes don't need me. I realized I could change a geriatric's life, keep them in the house longer, make a real impact on somebody who's just a normal grandma. It's the same thing when we talk about kids. I'm not going to do much for the star athlete in high school, but I can make a huge impact for the kid who's just a little bit awkward and hasn't grown into his body yet. That's where I would focus.
Yeah, I don't think there's a wrong way to do it, right? I mean, I don't disagree with you. I mean, I think everything jumps the shark, which is why jump the shark is a term. Kids, jump the shark, got to Google it. Like, people are saying jump the shark. They have no idea what even Happy Days is.
You said Max Headroom. There is no way anybody knows who Max Headroom is.
That'd be awesome. All I'm doing, I've been doing a lot of work in the last 2 weeks since going out of my own and opening my whatever. And I'm listening to a lot of owners, and I use this term doors. And I'm like, if I land on your website, do I understand what door I'm supposed to walk through? Like, you ever see the videos at like they'll do like hidden video at like a retail store like Dick's Sporting Goods or a mall or a supermarket. Do you know which direction they want you to walk when you walk into any store? Do you know which direction it is?
I'm going to say in and to the right, just because that's the way I always go.
Yep. We are the supermarkets, retail, for some, they're like yours, and people just follow it without an arrow, without being told, in and to the right, in and to the right. So what I'm getting at is, can you have a digital version of that? Is there a digital way that you can do that? And if I land on your website and in, I don't know, Tony, I was going to say 10 seconds, but I think the answer is probably 3, closer to 3 seconds. If I don't know, what do you do? How does it make my life better? What do I need to do to get it? Or where do I go for me? Okay, this is about you, but where do I go for, okay, yeah, I think I belong here, but where? If that's not clear, then I probably leave, or I have to burn too many calories. And I think there's a lot of drop off. You might have great content or paid ads or what, SEO. And if it gets there, that could be the leak in your business. What I'm getting at is, this feels like a door. Now, saying that and doing it simple, not easy, because how do you communicate this the thing that Tony just said, how do you create a combine or a space for someone who's not an athlete, but wants to do something athletic or needs to do something athletic? So it's simple, not easy. That's why I love being a consultant. You figured that out. I just gave you I showed you your problem. Now pay me, right? No, but that's what you work on. And when you nail that down, in my experience, the way to nail that down is like how you sand wood. Is just, it's a hard, hairy, scary problem. And then you keep removing what doesn't need to be there until the only thing that's there is the 5 words that explains it beautifully. That's why I bitch or I rave about having a name for something. It becomes real. It's how we talk about it internally. And now you can communicate it to someone else. I love the combine idea. I would do
another kind of spin on the combine idea for somebody who is in that world, the athletic world. We know PTs, you know PTs. You go into their clinic, they have the turf, they have the squat racks. Like, it looks like a CrossFit gym or something in that world. I can't believe there hasn't been somebody who's taken the high school and middle school demographic and started to track metrics like you would from a combine, started to generate data that said, hey, what's the predictability of this person getting through college as a college athlete, D1, D2, whatever. If we see things in middle school and high school that become predictive, why wouldn't we have that available now? Coaches, recruiters, all of these people coming in, they're going to be the ones that want to pay for that information. I thought it was really interesting. So within my wife's side of the family, they're all amazing athletes. They're all collegiate athletes at some level. Now, a lot of them are coaching high school sports. And here in Ohio, Division I high school sports is like professional. I mean, it's insane. And the coaches at that level all say the same thing. They're like, the kid who was the star on the team in 7th and 8th grade, 5th and 4th grade, they're not the kid that's the star of the team in high school. And I would imagine there's similarities with the kid who's not the star, Michael Jordan, in high school becoming the star in college and into professional. I just think that we have a unique perspective to identify problems before they happen. If we put those numbers into spreadsheets and we can start making predictive algorithms, especially now with AI, huge value in that, and I don't know if you see it. I'm seeing, what's it called? NIL.
Oh yeah. Name, image, likeness.
Going into high school sports. Now there are high school kids with Instagram accounts that are making money because of their athletics.
Zero shock. I in fact, when you said that, I was expecting you to say middle school, because there was a couple like before the internet, there were a couple of like sensation kids who were like freak athletes, right? And then I remember there was like one who was in middle school and got like 5 college offers. Yeah. It's just wild, right? But at what point, and this is a different show, like not for us, like at what point are we just like, dude, get off the playground, dude? Like there's, I'm usually the anti-rule guy, but I'm like, there's a line. Let's not go past this. They're children. Remember that? Like, but yeah, I mean, but if you want to look at your stuff, I made a funny in that segment of Steal the Strategy, like your Garmin or your Apple Watch knows more about you than your prom date ever did. There's a lot of information in there. And I think 20 years from now, we're going to be laughing like, you didn't use any of it. We handed you this and you acted like it was a toy. You could have been doing blah, 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 blah. And that's the awesome part of progress. I think you're right. But yeah, if you could predict some things. Did you ever read Grit? Or do you know the... Yeah. So Angela Duckworth, great podcast, by the way, called No Stupid Questions. She's a organizational psychologist, I think. I don't know. She's just as smart. And she tried to predict, like, how do we know who's going to be great at West Point? How do we know how do we know which high school kid out of 10,000 at this sport is going to be great? And she boiled it down to no physical metrics, right? Because West Point is academically and physically difficult and emotionally. Like, it's just, it's sort of a combine over 4 years. And then she found this formula called Grit, and it was all the rage for like a hot minute. And Grit, let me see if I can do this live without screwing it up. Talent times effort equals skill. Skill times effort equals output or achievement or whatever, like the thing. And so talent's what you're born with. You're either born talented or you're not, but you can, and then skill is something you can learn. But the magical part of that thing, as she highlights, is effort is, I'm not a math guy, but effort in that equation is squared because it's in there twice. So you can double down. So LeBron, my example for that is LeBron was probably very talented out of the womb. Like, he's just a talented person. If he didn't work and gain skills, I don't know, maybe he wouldn't even made the NBA, even with a lot of talent. So that's what you're looking for, is you're measuring the talent, but you're also doing it over time so you can see the skill progression. And then you're saying if you do that enough, you can see, oh, look at that. It wasn't the guy who was the star athlete in 8th, 10th, 11th grade. It was the kid who was the sleeper. It was the Jimmy McKay. It was the kid who barely got playing time. And now that's not how it works.
Now, I will say there are freaks of nature. LeBron's from this area. I had patients that were connected to his family. They would go watch him play basketball in high school, and it wasn't even a game. Kyle Schwarber, there's some consideration that he might come back to Cincinnati. He's from this area. He's another one. Like, it's just, some of these guys are just amazing throughout.
That's a chart.
But, that's the tiniest fraction of 1%. The rest of us, skill, effort. The thing that I always struggle with is when somebody, effort, words like effort, they're subjective. I think words like hard, this is hard to do, that's subjective. Like, what does that even mean? What's hard for me today, or what used to be hard for me 20 years ago, is not hard for me today, And so I do like the objective measures if we can find them.
Well, maybe hard means what I learned in PT school. Thank you, Dr. Sky Donovan, for teaching me XFIS. And again, I was a second career PT. When she explained how you improve your 1 rep max, you don't need to lift 100% of your 1 rep max. In fact, if you lift 60 to 80%. Unknown caller. Oh, we got a caller. Oh, it's spam risk. Sorry. If you lift 60 to 80% of your 1 rep max increases, right? So, but it always increases because then 60 to 80% of a larger number. So that's what hard is. The goalpost should always, because again, running outdoors is very hard and not fun for Jimmy, so I don't do it. But I'll run real hard inside, twice as long, whatever. So yeah, I guess choose your hard.
Now, see, and that's what I'm doing from a running perspective. I want to build back up to a 10-mile run. I'm running 1 mile, maybe 2. Walk 20 seconds, run another mile or 2, walk 20 seconds. I choose my total distance for the day, but then I break it up with short walks in between. And the walk, it's not that I really need the walk because of my heart or my lungs or my muscles. It's the brain. Like, I need the walk just to give me a break from the discomfort of the continuous run.
Yeah.
But like you said, it still always increases so that my total volume is going up on a day-to-day, week-to-week basis.
Let's shift gears. You formulated a thought. I will thank very much our newest sponsor, the Ministry of Silly Gaits. Today's episode brought to you by the Ministry of Silly Gaits, correcting post-op limps, waddles, and spontaneous interpretive dance outbreaks since 1972. Remember, if your gait is dignified, you're doing it wrong. See, I asked for a Monty Python. I was like, how would Monty Python write a sponsor for PT Breakfast Club? And they gave me the image. I love it.
Send me some of those. I'll put it into my Google Gemini.
Oh, yeah.
We'll use VO3 to turn them into some videos.
Oh, yeah. All right. Now you're saying now we've got video sponsors.
Yeah.
I like it. Perfect. All right. What are we talking about now? Dave might be calling in, but he's having some internet issues.
He is.
He's here in spirit.
His mugshot. No, we can take it anywhere. While you're thinking, Joseph Lowe again shared some interesting product information. He is selling products on Amazon. He's not a physical therapist. If you guys don't know him, Pure PT is the name of the company. I just got a message from Joseph Lowe, in fact. But
Nice.
I shared my Facebook business page, 3 videos in the last probably 3 weeks. They were using products that we buy and sell in the clinic. The videos have like 30,000 views, 45,000 views, 101,000 views. For people that are like, oh, I don't know what to post, and it's Thursday morning, I'm out of ideas. You all use products, whatever products you have. It's not a plug for anything specific. Like Jimmy's headphones, that's a product. Doing a video talking about that, or in my case, using a product with a patient, you grab that little clip, you post it on Facebook. If the algorithm needs the content, it will pick it up and just send it off to, hundreds of thousands of views.
Yeah. Have you been on LinkedIn, or are you not really on LinkedIn lately?
I kind of gave up.
Really?
I'm taking a break. I'm taking a hiatus.
That's fine.
Yeah.
And the reason I ask is I tagged you on a few things, and usually you like pop in. So I tried this thing like 2 days ago. I had like a half a glass of wine, and it's like 11 o'clock at night. And you know me, I'm like, bam, I'm just pinging. I got 2 screens and I'm doing whatever. So I drummed up this idea. So I literally was like, the prompt was, if MedBridge hired Jimmy McKay tomorrow, what are the first 3 things I would do? And then I went to their website, but I couldn't go deep. My rule was I could only hang out on their website for 30 seconds and go to their Instagram for 30 seconds and go to their YouTube for 30 seconds and be like, all right, where are the holes? Even if they're there, if they're deep, they don't exist. And I posted this, and of course I tagged MedBridge in it because I'm like, let's poke the bear. Not the saying that they're a bear. And do you think it went well? Of course, I wouldn't be talking about it. Dude, this thing sort of blew up. It got 4,000 impressions. People started chiming in, and the premise was simple. What I just mentioned. I took all the information. I sort of put my spin on it, gave it to AI, and said, now help me explain this to MedBridge. So I essentially said, here are the first 3 things I do if MedBridge hired me tomorrow. Now, of course, you see the behind the scenes thing that I'm doing. I'm doing this for MedBridge. Even if MedBridge is like, all right, cool, guy I don't know. Thanks for like talking about our business online. Other people are watching. It's voyeuristic in nature. That's how this works. So I said, MedBridge is already crushing it. Polished content, trusted brand, solid product. They're basically the Netflix of CEUs. But if they brought me in to shake up the snow globe, here's what I would do. I would launch, you're familiar with Tom's Shoes, of course. I said, give one, get one. For every person who buys a year-long subscription in the US, you give one away to someone in a low resource country. Now, you're Tom's Shoes. And it feels, we used to call it the warm and fuzzy. It costs you maybe not nothing, but it costs you very little. The juice is, in my opinion, from an outsider, I don't know your numbers, probably worth the squeeze. But I also want to like Matt Damon it and water.org it, which is a lot of people don't have access in low resource countries, not because they just don't have the money. They don't for MedBridge access. They also don't have internet access or devices. So it's like, you start a micro fund, the thing that funds. Now people want to give. When you check out at MedBridge, I didn't put this in there, but now I'm thinking about it. When you check out at MedBridge, would you like to round up? Would you like to round up $1? And it goes to putting internet access or refurbished tablets and sending them around the world, training them, because just giving them access doesn't do anything. Training them. I also tagged another large organization, which used to be WCPT, World Confederation of Physical Therapy, essentially the United Nations of like the APTAs of the world, APTA and Mexico PTA, whatever they are. I was like, team up with them because they already know how to do this better. So don't try to do this with them, but get the warm and fuzzies out of it. Now you are the most meaningful brand in rehab education. You become the company that lifts up the entire planet's clinicians. And then I had a couple more. This one might excite Tony. I said, create the MedBridge Creator Collective. 500. They have 1 billion instructors across, not just PT, but 500 instructors now become 500 ambassadors. Because right now, if Tony gets plucked from the internet and you're going to teach a course, from what I saw anyway, you teach the course, it goes on the Netflix of CEUs, but you sort of disappear. But what if Tony got his own micro clips? What if he got his sizzle reel and a trailer? What if you got co-branded reels? Because when MedBridge shares it and makes Tony a collaborator on Instagram, now Tony's like, yeah, I'm going to accept that. You're going to make my channel grow. The rising tide lifts all ships. Why don't we do live external Q&A sessions? Give a little way externally to make people want to come into the Netflix of CEUs. So Tony sees where I'm going here. I'm sure I, of course, missed a few. I also said this, affiliate codes with real revenue share. MedBridge a long time ago did the affiliate code.
Yeah. So
when people would be like in a Facebook group, who's got good online CEUs? 12 people would rush to be like, they're great, MedBridge, and here's my MedBridge.com/Jimmy McKay. And I never do that because the juice was so not worth the squeeze, and I don't want to race to the bottom. That I think that was a great idea. That was innovative 10 years ago. That's not innovative now, and people don't do that. So anyway, that was my second idea. And then I said MedBridge Labs, do a public R&D playground for clinical innovation. Now you become the place where modern rehab ideas are built, tested, and improved. So this was just three simple ideas. Again, MedBridge might be reading this going, this guy doesn't know how our business works. You're right, because I don't work for you yet. But I did that. Oh, and I should share what happened now. This is what I was hoping was going to happen, but I thought it might take a week. It took an hour. So you see the interactions, 81 interactions, 30 comments, right?
Which, for the record, 85,000 impressions on a post. That's huge.
So, that's my month. That's my channel. This thing got 4,000 impressions, 85,000. That's the most impressions I have. But it's getting there. But look who commented. Look who commented. Andrew. I don't know who. We were not connected before this. Andrew is the chief content officer at MedBridge. He said, "Love the innovation. Let's chat." Minute later, I get a DM, and I am excited to have this phone call. Like that was great. And then look, I got people I know, kind of, like tagging other people and going, "Jimmy's wonderful." I don't know. I mean, I kind of know Chloe, but not really. And I got people jumping in, being like, "Hey, man." John Mitchell had a comment somewhere. He was like, "Give Jimmy the megaphone." Yeah, give Jimmy the megaphone and stand back. I'm like, I kind of know John. I'm like, I love it though. And then I'll show one more comment, and then Tony can give me his feedback. Craig from the prehab guys goes, "Let's hear your best prehab ideas next." That's what I was hoping it would do. Roast me next, Wendy's. Right? That's what Wendy's did. But look at Joe Brents, who I met in PT school, tags Taylor Sterling. I don't know who Taylor Sterling is. Who do you think Taylor Sterling is, Tony?
I have no idea.
Chief Marketing Officer at MedBridge. And now I reach out and we're going to connect.
Beautiful.
Look, this isn't rocket surgery, people. I'm not saying anything's going to happen from this. Although I'd love to be like, where's this going to go? Cool. I don't know. Maybe we do some ideas, right? This is what happens when I have left home alone. My PlayStation was updating, so I couldn't play the video games, and I had a half a glass of wine and an internet connection. But this shows you the power. I'm just an idiot with a laptop, right? And I was able to do this. I'm not saying I changed the world or reinvented something. It's magical, though, isn't it?
So I had somebody, I won't mention names, ask me about you this morning.
What?
And I said, your superpower is putting on a big event.
Love it.
I said, you are the extrovert, like the quintessential extrovert. You get energy from engaging, from talking, from meeting new people and connecting with existing relationships. Total opposite of me. I don't have any of that stuff, but that's okay.
Yeah. We're a good team, bro.
And I said, you're a connector. You bring people together. You know how to communicate. I said, the biggest challenge, and I don't know if you would agree with this, but I said, the biggest challenge for you has been you have these connections, you get into an organization, but the people running the organization aren't necessarily ready for the ideas. And I get it. Back to, again, turning the Titanic. When we were at 5 locations, we had a team of 20 plus clinicians and staff and all that stuff. For me to make a change was way too much effort. When I look at MedBridge, I think they have phenomenal content. I love that it's the Netflix of CEUs. Mm-hmm. But when I look at it, I don't know that there's change and innovation. I try to think in my head, I'm like, what's been different? What's been new? I don't see them doing anything other than just continuing what's a proven to be effective model. The challenge is I'm guessing 350 a year. I can get something comparable for 99 a year, and I don't need it. I don't see exclusivity on their platform. Like, it's not like they have the we just watched the Wednesday that Netflix has.
Oh,
Netflix has Wednesday.
yeah.
Netflix has Stranger Things. Like, there's nothing on the MedBridge platform that I need that I can't get to unless I buy their membership. Yeah.
So you're saying like, hey, I could get a course from this really great person that I follow and I know is a good teacher, but I could also go get get her stuff somewhere else. You mean?
Or something comparable.
Something like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people they pluck. I'm thinking of someone without saying her name.
Yeah.
Is on the Mount Rushmore of current PTs in the neuro space. She knows who she is. She's a New Yorker. She knows. I don't want to say her name. But yes, she's right, because she's like, of course I'm going to do MedBridge, because they're from what I understand, they pay you well, they do a great job, and they highlight you. But she's like, I also have to do my stuff myself. So she's, these people do them, and you absolutely should. This is diversification. This is building your personal brand. I think MedBridge knows that. But how do they make an environment where you want to triple down on what they're doing too? Because doing a couple courses for, I don't know what they pay, but I've heard well enough to make it, the juice is worth the squeeze. Like, you're getting people motivated. Like, yes, I'm going to give you that's the rule, right? Pay them enough that the money's off the table. Now they're like, all right, now what's this process? And I've heard their process is like a movie. They fly you in, and it's like, we lay it out. Your job is be you. We'll do all the other stuff, right? Everything, planning, lighting, camera. You're thinking of none of that.
Which is a lot of the stuff that you've talked about for business owners. Look, we'll bring in the camera guy. We'll lead the conversation. We'll make sure everything looks good. We'll do the lighting. We'll handle it all. And we'll do 6 months of content in a day.
Right.
It's a proven concept, and it's 100% great job. It's an affordable offer. We used to pay $1,000 per CEU period. So $1,000 every 2 years toward our therapists getting their CEUs. Now that's kind of gone. That's demonetized. Like, I can buy $100, $99 a year, unlimited access. I buy it today, which I haven't done any of my CEUs for this reporting period. I get my membership today. I've got it unlimited. I can get my 24 tomorrow. And then in February, I can get another 24 for the next 2 years, 48 hours done. And, I don't even have to think about it for $99. Like,
so this is where sounds like it's a tangent conversation, but I don't think it is. Yeah. This is what I try to hold up a mirror to APTA academies and state chapters. And I said this before publicly. I'm like, you're not going to out MedBridge. You're not going to out MedBridge physicaltherapy.com. But what they'll say is, I'm like, ask your members why they join. And they're like, everybody says the CEUs. And I go, really though? Because dollars to donuts, like for CEU dollar and convenience, it ain't there. And I've even said, like, we went through the math. Like, what is, like, some guy pushed back. He's like, I find this post offensive as an LMS coordinator or whatever. And I'm like, all right, well, that's on you. But it wasn't offensive, because I said, what's an LMS cost? How much does it cost a chapter or an academy to create one course? What are you selling it for? And what do actual sales? Like, what do you charge for it and what you're actually selling are two different things. And I go, are you even in the black? Are you good at this? Is this the business you want to be in? I was talking to an organization yesterday and I came up with a crazy tangent. And then all of a sudden, halfway down that rabbit hole, I looked at them and I was like, oh, never mind. This isn't what you're good at. And she was like, yeah, I was going to. And I was like, but I had to get the idea out before I went all full circle. Essentially, I was like trying to convince this organization to be the matchmaker of two audiences that they knew. And I was like, you could do that, but the juice ain't worth the squeeze on that. I was like, great, but you know me, I need to be a verbal processor. I need to get the idea out, then look at it and be like, it's a turd, throw it out. I can't look at it before it comes out. I got to hatch the egg and then figure out it's a turd. Which also, so anyway, I was trying to show sections and academies that's not the business. That's not your main business. In fact, if we wanted to play off my post, why wouldn't sections and academies just partner with MedBridge?
Right. That's exactly where I thought you were going to go.
Yeah. Why you
have the infrastructure? They have everything. They can do the revenue share. Like, just take that off your plate. Local or state chapters, connect with them.
What are you good at? Making Marvel movie CEUs that people love to watch, are refined, they're masterclasses. What are you good at? Getting physical therapists together and delivering warm and fuzzies. Then why are you trying to do what they do? You're not going to outdo them, right? So I never know if that idea is good until I actually, birth the idea and actually hatch the idea, which leads us to our next sponsor, the CordyCluck. CordyCluck, the emotional support chicken that squawks every time your cortisol level spikes. Is your front desk broken? Bonk! You forgot to collect that copay? Bonk! Welcome to Stress Biofeedback Barnyard Edition. This is CordyCluck. You thought fake ads wouldn't be funny.
It's
What
awesome.
is going to be real, dude? Someone's going to take one of these and be like, hang on a second, that's 85% of a good idea. Let's twist it.
Yeah. The only thing I can imagine with why that doesn't happen, and I'm going to look at Shark Tank as the example. They always say in Shark Tank, like, why would I give up the revenue? Why would I give up 50% ownership, whatever? Well, because 40% ownership of, a $10 million business is better than 100% ownership of a $40,000 business.
Yeah, you're probably right.
But you need that person, and that's where you come in.
So who's getting the crappier end of the deal there? The chapters and academies or MedBridge?
I think with the way it is right now, not using MedBridge, the chapter is losing. They're getting the short end of the stick because they're not getting the reach and the penetration.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I was thinking in partnering, in partnering, who wins more? I think they both win, but who wins more? I think they both win. And I actually think the APTA chapters and academies win more.
Yes.
I think MedBridge is like, great, but we don't need you. I think if they looked at it as a long play, MedBridge would be like, this maths. Listen, APTA academies and chapters, they are 501c3s. I'm going to teach you a little Google your state association and the number 990. It's a 990 form. They have to file it. You can look at what they're making and spending, right? I'm not pulling back the curtain. That's a Google. But some of them are itemized. If you look and you can see what they make on a CEU and you're like, they must be making all this money. Not all of them. Because you can do things and you can do them poorly and you can do them well. And some states are very savvy and some states are not. All states are not created equal because they have different people who've been in leadership positions for different amount of times and they've been able to steer the ship this way. I still don't think even the best ones are in the CEU business. I've said this before. I think you're a media company. I think you're a content company, but you haven't embraced that yet. All right. Of course, it's my lens. I'm going to look, but I think I'm right. Red Bull is not an energy drink company. And I was in a fight with a guy on YouTube about this. I mean, he was just a troll, but I was trolling back because, hey, man, engagement is engagement. He's like, that's not correct. And I'm like, walk me through that. But Red Bull sponsors, have you ever seen I want to go to one. Have you ever seen a Flutog?
I've heard of that. What is it?
Red Bull Flutog is they go to like some city with a harbor.
Yeah.
And they set up like a big, huge, like 30-foot tall platform. And then the goal is you make a human-powered or gravity wind-powered thing, like a hang glider, and whoever can go the longest wins. And then Red Bull also smartly goes, but you got to make it funny. So you got to dress up like chickens or aliens or your grandma. And so there's this, because it's Red Bull, I believe, is like it's a Scandinavian. It's got the Scandinavian, like, Dutch vibe. If you've ever hung around with Dutch people, like whatever's in the water there, I want some. They're just like, who are you? You're our friend now. Let's go. And they're just, I don't know. That's what Red Bull looks like. Or they sponsor the X Games, or they sponsor, I don't know what it is, but they do like a soapbox derby. This ridiculous soapbox derby. Same vibe. Make a ridiculous soapbox and you got to get over these obstacles. They're not an energy drink company. You watch so much and the whole thing is a commercial because Red Bull gives you wings, right? So by the time you see it on the shelf at your convenience store, you're like, Red Bull, that's the Cadillac. Do you actually know why Red Bull gives you wings and not wings?
Why? Oh,
somebody sued them because they were like, I bought Red Bull and I did not get wings.
Yeah.
And they were like, okay. So they paid the guy, of course, they had to. But then they spun it and they're like, well, we're going to make it. Hey, lawyer, what do we need to do to make it so ridiculous so it's obvious that we're not actually giving a human being wings? And they're like, say wings. So that's why they do it. But now it's embedded in your brain. So whatever that cost, it landed a jingle that actually probably boosted their sales. Red Bull's not an energy drink company. They're a media company. APTA sections and academies are not membership companies. They're media companies with an actual heartbeat, right? Membership is not a what, it's a how. Netflix isn't a membership company. Membership is my boredom solution for $12 or $14 a month. MedBridge is your CEU solution. You understand it's the Cadillac of, so you triple down. A partnership there, a bridge. I don't know.
So now again, and we can wrap the MedBridge part of this and close the show. But again, you're saying these things which trigger these ideas. I'm like, you want to be the person that's at the APTA event, going around, interviewing and talking and having the booth set up.
It's my dream job.
Why are they not doing that? Why do they not?
Who, APTA or MedBridge?
MedBridge.
They do.
Why? They have a booth and they're interviewing and they're sharing and they're streaming live.
They have launched podcasts with some of their instructors. They've done that. Are they doing a Jimmy level thing? No.
Yeah.
And that's just me patting myself on the back. Believe me, I'm giving myself props there. I look at them and it's the same thing from that line from the movie Swingers. I'm like, you're trying to kill this bunny and you got these claws and you can't figure out how to kill the bunny. But why aren't you live streaming? I went to AOMT 3 weeks ago in Reno, their annual conference. I recorded 26 podcast episodes for them in 2 days. I gave them 6 months worth of content in 2 days. Really, it's 4 days because I had to fly there, record, fly home. And then we had to edit. So it's 2 days worth of on-site, right? This was, maybe Tony will be like, oh, Jimmy's figuring it out now. We had the post-mortem with the leadership at AOMT. And everybody's like, that was great. I was like, it was great. And then I just get real quiet and I go, hang on, I have an idea. I'm like, what? I'm like, why are we waiting a week? What do you mean? Well, I'm standing there in the hallway doing the thing. We got lights. We got a backdrop. We got a desk with your logo. Why aren't we creating FOMO? Why aren't we live streaming this? If you can give me a good reason why we aren't live streaming this, I'll stop asking. And the room of smart people went quiet. So I don't know if we're going to do it, but I've also been saying this about PPS for 2 years. Again, in 3 years, this will happen, and everybody will forgot that we called it 4 years ago. But why aren't you live streaming? Why aren't you also, and we can get more back into this, why aren't you live selling? If you're PPS, why couldn't you be live selling membership at a discounted rate? Or add-ons. Don't discount, just or add-on. Take the whatever course we have right now. You know what, Jimmy? Here, take 10. Take 10 at 70% off. If you sell them, if you buy before the live stream over, it's this. We've only got 10. Oh, look at that. Bing. One went up. Only 9 left. Why aren't you doing that? Why? I'll tell you exactly why. Because it's hard and because no one has responsibility for doing that. If I said to PPS or anybody or APTA, whatever, or MedBridge, who's responsible for doing that? If that doesn't get done in 6 months, who gets in trouble? And the answer is nobody. Because if you look at MedBridge's booth at CSM, it's great. It's a corporate booth. It looks great. It looks great. It does not look boring. It's great. Could it be better? Like the reason I'm good at this, by the way, someone gave me a compliment on my LinkedIn post. Because not only did I do MedBridge, I did ATI, APTA, prehab guys. Right now people are like, all right, Jimmy, roast me.
You're not roasting them. For the record, you're not roasting them.
Even the ATI one I was nervous about doing. And I started by taking the bullets out of the gun. I go, all right, ATI's taken some shots in the last 6 months. Let's get it out of the way. But then the thing I said about ATI was, guys, you might want to dunk on ATI, but they're the canary in the coal mine. If they tank, what do you think the rest of us? I'm not saying it's a direct canary, but like if they start not doing well, that's a sign. Also, I will say this, point at one ATI clinician you don't like. People love to dunk on a red logo. I want you to show me one ATI clinician you don't. Well, I like the people. Well, people are an organization. It's a collection of people. So show me one person you don't like. I don't like, all right, well, yeah, when you say it like that, I don't like APTA. Well, it's just a bunch of members. I'm APTA. You're a PTA. Which one don't you like? Well, I don't like, right. That's right. Right. You needed something to bitch about. All right, we're at time. Parting shots.
Parting shot. So I don't know if I'm still on the video, but I'm looking at my phone. I got a message from McDonald's. You guys saw I had McDonald's breakfast. The message says, lowercase I got stars for you, and then 5 stars. Get me back though, THO. No capitalization throughout this whole thing. It's like a kid's text message.
I love it.
How would you, the letter U, rate your recent MCDS experience from 1 to 5? So McDonald's is giving me, the customer, 5 stars and asking me to give them back 5 stars.
Is that a text message?
Yeah, it's a text message. This is brilliant. I never do Google reviews or ask for Google reviews. I'm going to try this with some of our clients. I'm going to say, hey,
You're a 5-star patient.
You're a 5-star patient. I would love for you to click this link and give us a review on Google.
Oh, what do you think that costs them, Tony, to send a text message? A lot
Millions
of
of dollars. Millions of dollars.
They could have put a billboard up, or they could have sent an email, but they did a text message because you're going to open it. The open rates are infinitely higher. And they wrote it like a friend would write it. And even if 2% of the people follow through on giving them a review. And wait, how did they have your number? Did you order through the app? Is that why? I'm trying to figure out where they started.
Yeah, through the app.
If you don't find that directly applicable to your clinic, if you can't figure that out, you're not doing the math with us.
So that's my parting shot.
Before we leave, I do want to say thank you to our last sponsor of the day, CPTGPT, the world's first AI trained entirely on rejected claims and vague documentation. Just type in "probably did something manual" and it'll spit out 3 units of whatever gets paid today. That is CPTGPT. Check them out at CPTGPT.com. Parting shot today would be, put stuff out there, poke the bear, and you'd be dumbfounded what comes in. And if you do it long enough, people are like, how are you everywhere? I'm like, I come up with 10 ideas and then I schedule them to come out over the next 10 days. I'm not sitting there online all the time. I mean, I'm probably a lot, but like not all the time, but put stuff out there. And this doesn't have to be like huge things. McDonald's is texting you. They gave reciprocity. They gave you 5 stars and you are now feel obligated to do it. Tony will be back on Tuesday. Dave Kittle will be here, not only in mind and body, but also in spirit. Tony, we'll see you on Tuesday. Let's talk more about live selling and make sure I don't forget, because I feel like that is the beginning of the wave and you have some experience doing that. All right, Tony, we'll talk soon.
All right.